Hello, Mr. Price here, and this is your video on the mean average PLT. Okay, let's go straight into the first question. So we're being asked to find which class is the best. Okay, we've got two bits of data here. Okay, we've got class A and class B. Okay, now to be able to compare these numbers, we're going to want to find an average. Now, in this case, I really would recommend using the mean average. There are other averages. We're going to use the mean average. So we know that the mean average is the sum of all of our data divided by how many numbers there are. Okay, and this gives us the mean average. So we add up all of our numbers, and once you've done that, we should get an answer of 249. And there are 10 numbers, so divide that by 10. So the mean average for this one is 24.9. Okay, with these questions it may well be worth just doing either a second check to make sure you've added it up correctly, or you can also do an estimate. For example, just call this roughly 10, roughly 30, roughly 40, roughly 20, and so on. So we've got 10, 40, 80, 100, 120, 130, 180, sorry, 210, 230, 250. So it looks about right actually. So 249 is a good guess. Hopefully you saw how I did that. So it's roughly 10, 30, 40, 20, 20, 10, 50, 40, 20 and 20. Add those up. If you get a number that's near that, you're probably correct. Okay, so that's the mean average for class A. Okay, class A average. We're going to do the same for class B. So the sum of all of our data divided by how many numbers there are is the mean. When we add up all these, we should get 132. Divided by, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 numbers. Okay, and doing on that calculator, you do get an answer of exactly 22 for the class B average. If you want to make sure your answer looks sensible, we've got 30 and 20, so 50, plus 30, so 80, 100, 120, 130. So yep, it's looking good for 132. Okay, now if you finish off with that, you're quite happy to say, right, well, we can see that class A is better. They got an average of about 25 marks, whereas class B got an average of about 22 marks. You may also want to find the range of the data to see how spread out it is. So we find the range of class B, but this is a bit more optional. So the range for class B is 49, take away 7, so that gives you 35. And then for class B, the highest value is 32, and the lowest is 14, so that gives you a range of 18. So looks like class B is more consistent. So there are arguments for both, but certainly the average is higher for class A, and while it's a little bit more spread out, it's not horrendously so. I'd be quite happy to say that class A has done better than class B in this situation, but depending on how well you argue your point, you could quite happily say class B because they're a bit more consistent. Okay, and then for part 2, we're being asked that someone in class B didn't take their test, so we're going to have one more person's score in there. And what does this person need to get in order to beat class A? Well, let's go back to here. We had 132, which was the sum of the first 6 numbers, all divided by 6. But we're going to have one more person. So the first 6 numbers was 132. Okay, plus our extra number. We're going to call it whatever we want, so maybe B. So here I'm going to let B equal another test score. so that whoever's reading this knows, okay, that is what B means. It's another test score. So 132 plus another test score, all divided by how many numbers there are. So there were 6, we got another one, so 7, equals, and we want this to be the mean average in order to draw against Class A. So if it's exactly the same as Class A, it will draw. So the mean average earlier was 24.9. So in order to draw, it also needs to be 24.9. Okay, so multiply by 7 on both sides to get 132 plus B equals, and then 24.9 times 7 is, do that on my calculator, 24.9 times 7, so that's 174.3. Okay, and then we're going to take off 132 from both sides, so then B is equal to 42.3. 42.3. That is to draw. Okay, so if someone gets exactly 42.3, which I know is impossible, but if they did, they'd get exactly the same mean average as Class A. So therefore, in order to win, the person has to have 43 score to beat Class A, because that will bring the average slightly higher than that one. Okay, I hope that was of use to you. Do come and find me for more questions if you need to, and have a good one.